guys, welcome to another episode of Tiger Dads, the golf show where we make the mistakes in life so you don't have to. We teach you about our problems and our issues as we navigate the insane world of junior golf. And then we have great guests on the show who talk about their journeys. And we got a great one today. My co-host, Bo Bass. I'm Jason Sklar. Tell everyone out there who we have on this damn show today.
We have Christine Wang.
The Christine Wang of the Epson Tour. Great
player from USC and now in her second year on the Epson Tour. But we will continue to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Is there a world where I'm owning my mistakes too proudly? Like, I think there are times where I'm like talking about these mistakes I make. Like, as a comic, we always say, you want things to go one of two ways. You want it to go great or you want it to go horribly so you get a bit out of it. Anything in the middle is blah. So I need to make some fantastic mistakes as a golf dad, and I think I'm doing it.
We will continue to make mistakes, but we're going to make them, share them so you don't have to.
That's right. And today we're going to get into, with the Christine Wang, a little bit about how she got into golf and what some of the options and some of the ways that she got into the golfing world, because she was the first golfer in her family. And sometimes that happens out there. No one in your family is a professional golfer, but your kid has this aptitude for golf. And we're going to talk about some ways.
Yeah, there are a lot of, we've talked about tournaments and things, but when you first start your child in golf, there are, I think, almost anywhere you live in the US, at least, most cities have a lot of different options to sort of introduce your young kids to golf. Not just tournaments, but like programs.
Yep.
The First Tee is a program. I would definitely, like, if you're looking to start your kids in golf, look up your local First Tee chapter where they'll introduce children as young as like 4, 5, 6 years old.
And they teach them everything, like from golf etiquette to who's hitting and how you tee your ball up to everything.
They do a bunch of fun games, and you can build all the way up. Right. There's most major cities and even smaller cities have a local PGA chapter. So, like here in Southern California, we have the Southern California, the SCPGA,
which you got me initially into the JDT, which is the Junior Development Tournaments, which I would say is a great entry point if your child has started to play golf and is like, okay, now I want some competitions, but I want a mixed level of talent so I can walk in and I won't be so, blown away by the competition that it's going to make me discouraged.
But you can definitely look at the local PGA chapters usually have some junior programming. And then most cities, like it's here again, Southern California, they have the SCGA, which is more of a Southern California Golf Association, not necessarily associated with tournaments, but they also have a lot of junior programming. So I would definitely say look into those kinds of things.
Leagues, like a junior league is a fun thing.
There are PGA Junior League they have it on ESPN now. I think it's ESPN. You can watch these. These kids who are playing at that level.
You're on a team and it's almost like high school golf where you play against other club teams.
It's the best entry point to beginning golfers because you play as a team, you play best ball tournaments. So there's not as much pressure on the individual player.
And what we talked about earlier, which is one of the reasons why I'm sitting right next to you as a friend, is your kid has a chance to meet other kids who like golf. So there's friendships that are
one of the biggest things, right? Meeting friends, playing with friends, competing with other kids, and under like very low stakes environment. They
lower
get
the
team
stakes.
Uniforms with their names on the back. It's great.
They feel cool and the stakes are lower. Lower the stakes, I think, is the message that we try and say as you're starting your child out. And we're learning that a little bit from all the people that we're interviewing on the show, is that the parents who check in with their kids and who are trying to lower the stakes at the beginning, at least, and making sure they're having fun, are the ones who usually have the kids that stay in golf.
These tournaments,
they can get intense.
I'm as guilty of it as anybody. Like at 8 years old, I'm like freaking out about the results of these tournaments at 8. And then 4 years later, I'm like, those tournaments didn't matter. And so it reminds me that tournaments now at 12 for Emmy still don't matter.
They don't really matter. Nothing really matter. If we're going to go so deep and get existential on this, does anything matter in life? Of course it matters. But I also want to mention drive, chip, and putt, because we haven't done that yet, but that is a very easy way to get into a fun competition. It's 9 shots, right?
9 shots. Drive, chip, and putt put on by Augusta National.
Right. So if you advance, to explain real quickly how this works, and anyone can sign up, correct?
So Drive, Chip, and Putt is an initiative that was sort of originally developed by Augusta National. And it's basically like kids can show up.
Right.
They drive 3 balls, they chip 3 balls, and they putt 3 balls. And you get points for how close to the pin you get, or
how far your drive is still in bounds.
But it's super fun. Everybody sign. It's free. Free to sign up. Totally free. Every kid that shows up usually gets some little prize or some little, like I think this year when you come to the locals, you get like a ball marker.
Okay. Get a hat. I think you had a drive, chip, and putt hat.
I think at the next level you get hats or towels.
Right.
But if you are really good and you advance, you can get all the way and actually play at Augusta National the week of the Masters.
Which I watched it. I watched kids putt and chip. Like I watched that. They've televised that somewhere.
And that's, I think,
it's cool.
6 to 7 all the way to like 13 or 14.
It's very cool. And is it the punt, pass, and kick of golf?
It's basically that, but even cooler.
It's cooler because the truth is punt, pass, and kick, you're not really passing to somebody, but you're chipping towards the hole. You're putting towards the hole. If you put them in, what is it? It's a 5, a 10, and a 25?
It's like 25 if you make the putt all the way down to like 1 or 0 if you miss it really badly.
Okay.
But it's so low pressure that even kids that are brand new
can jump in.
Obviously, there are kids that are really good and go and score a lot of points, but you can go have a good time, meet other kids, get a little free tchotchke.
Yep.
And it's an entry point for a kid to like learn about golf.
And not like a 5-hour or 9-hour investment.
No, I mean,
of
you're
time.
there.
You get a time and you're coming to do it.
You get a tee time, you show up, you're done in 20 minutes.
Okay. So that's a great starting point for parents who like, hey, my kid likes to hit the ball in the range and I like to mess around when I'm on the course. That's a good starting thing, I feel like, for them.
Great starter. And another program that's actually really designed to bring more girls into the game, LPGA USGA has a girls golf program. I mean, you can look it up. It's literally LPGA USGA Girls Golf. And they have programs all over the country, from starters all the way to scholarships for college, players. An incredible program. Again, free.
Free
program to bring more women girls into the game. My daughter started going to some of those when she was like 7, 8 years old, met other kids. But I would say if you're looking to get your kids into golf, find one of these programs. And I think they're all over the country.
Yeah.
Find one of these programs so your kid can meet other kids, have fun on the course before you start beating them with a stick like I do.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about stories on the course with our guest. We're off and running on this show. Later, your daughter is going to fire some rapid fire questions and shotgun start a new segment we're putting in the show. And then at the end of the show today, we're going to go to Caddy's Corner and talk about stuff that we've done that's ridiculous as dads. Not that we do anything wrong ever.
No, not us. Actually, totally us. We'll definitely link all of those things in the pod so that if you're looking, we'll try to link those in the show description.
Yes.
But there are a lot of great ways to get your kids started.
That's it. You just got to get them on the course any way possible. Keep it fun. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back with the Christine Wang on Tiger Dads. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tiger Dads, the only podcast about junior golf that Bryson DeChambeau watches when he's playing with junior clubs. We have a guest on the show.
One.
We have a guest on the show, Bo, and I want you to give this guest a proper intro.
I'm so excited actually to invite Christine Wang to the show today. Who's become a friend over the last couple of years. I met her when she was still at USC. Has now in the middle of her second season on the Epson Tour as a professional. And someone who I think has a very unique perspective on golf, on junior golf, hopefully. Give us some feedback because she's still so close to junior golf.
I mean, you're just out of it. I met you in an airport, you and the whole USC team. I was very impressed.
Yes, that was so fun.
So let's get into it. This is a podcast about junior golf. I guess we want to hear about your beginnings and how you got involved in golf early on. Was it parents pushing or you pushing?
If I'm going to be honest, I don't think anyone who's under the age of like 10 really knows what they're doing. So my parents definitely put me into golf, but I would say that I just really liked it. So that's why I stayed in golf. So
how old were you when the first club got put into your hand for the first time?
I was 7. So I was 7 years old. It was around this time in the summer. My whole family were all athletes. My parents played basketball, like all the different sports growing up. So they knew how important sports was to a kid's life, right? So they wanted me to play a sport. And for some reason, they decided that golf would be a good fit with my personality. And like, you know, they just thought it was cool. And there was a muni golf course right next to my house. It's called Sharpstown Golf Course.
Shout out.
Shout out Sharpstown. Shout out Coach Doug, my first coach. He was a head pro out there.
Nice.
And I just started in one of those like summer camp groups. There was not enough kids, not enough girls. So then I did a one-on-one lesson with them, and then rest is history.
That's actually a great sort of segue, because one of the things we were talking about before you joined us was all of this sort of entry points into junior golf beyond just like throwing your kid into a tournament. So besides working with Coach Doug and his 101, were there any sort of like golf programs in Houston that you sort of like were entry points, or did your parents just take you to the range? Like, what was that?
So I'm the first golfer in my family, which apparently is very rare. But I'm like, every family had to start somewhere, right?
100%.
But so when I did start practicing a little more and stuff, I was part of girls golf. I was part of the first tee in Houston, obviously. And then I definitely went through their program. I remember going to those group classes and learning the core values, like going through the stages in the first tee. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's like birdie, like bogey, par, birdie, like the different levels they had. So yeah, I was, those were
Did you
fun.
feel right away like, oh, I have some talent for this? Like, could you hit the ball right? Or was there frustration? I mean, golf is a frustrating sport, even if you're great at it. Were there moments where you're like, I can't do this game, I'm out of here? Or was it just like
not when I first started?
That's great.
I think when I first started, it was just fun because there was, you know, again, first tee and girls golf make it really fun for kids to start golfing, right? And it was just a chance for me to hang out with my friends. And I had a few like school friends that also was in the program with me that I was friends with. So that was pretty good.
Lucky and great.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So from 7, working with Coach Doug, girls golf, first tee, at what point did you, or like I guess at this point, your parents sort of like take you to that next level of like, okay, we're learning how to play, we're learning how to balls, and like let's throw Christine in a tournament?
I actually played my first tournament, I think, when I was 7.
Oh wow! So it was
my God. You were just like
in the range, like, oh, she's a natural. Let's go.
Well, maybe I was 8, but it was very quickly. I got placed into one of the U.S. Kids tournaments in the area just because, again, my whole family is competitive athletes, not just like for fun athletes. And because of that, I think they thought, you know what, the competition side is definitely part of it. A little, I don't know if it's 5-hole tournament or a 9-hole tournament,
Probably
but
9.
US Kids is 9. Yeah,
it's
well, for the little ones.
The little ones,
Yeah, still
yeah.
nine.
And
It's
then
9.
it's 9.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I remember there's this one outfit. I had like 2 golf outfits, and there's so many photos of me in my first tournament in that like one outfit. And pretty sure I almost shot in the 70s for that 9 holes.
Not bad.
No, 70s for 9 holes.
No, I said that's not bad
broke
for your first
80.
time. You broke 80.
I actually have I can't remember, but I just know that I was put into competition really early. But
did you like it? Was it about the hang? Did you have any idea of like what the score?
Okay,
don't remember.
I don't remember. I remember playing in the tournaments. I remember girls in that tournament that I still play with on the Epson tour now.
Amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah. I remember looking up and being like, wow, they're 7 and they're so good. Like, I want to be better. And then.
So you were naturally competitive.
It's a family. It's in your genes. It sounds like it's in the vet. And so golf, though, different than other sports is, I noticed as the dad on the bag, there's a lot of time for kids to walk down the course and talk together and become friends, and friendships form. My daughter's become friends with his daughter. Like golf is a very social sport, I feel like. And it's like, I feel like that part, especially that you had friends in it with you, was, I'm going to say, a lucky thing for you early on, because you probably look forward to playing whenever you're with them.
Yeah. I mean, probably. I can't remember really,
well,
but
it wasn't traumatizing because you're still doing it.
Clearly, yeah. I was really shy when I was younger. So having those friends do it with me, I think was really important, you know, and being put into a situation where I could make friends easily. Like, but.
Yeah, I mean, because you're such a wallflower, you're lucky you had outgoing friends to bring you in.
Yeah, originally. Well, now I'm like not shy anymore.
What, when you were out there, obviously competitive family, throwing you right into it. Well, what point did you start kind of owning your own, like, hey, I want to go practice? Or was it like a parental push for the most part until you got to a certain age? Or like, were you sort of immediately like, I want more of this?
I just feel like very naturally it shifted from, oh, I just go hit balls with a coach once a week, you know, to we should practice more often. That's how I get better for the tournaments, right? To, oh, this is just what I do after school now. Like, it was very natural. There was not really a specific moment I can pinpoint saying this is when I decided that, you know, I'm going to start practicing every day. But my parents, I do think they guided me. I wouldn't say they pushed me in the beginning, at least. Yeah.
They're probably psyched. I mean,
it's interesting. Well, because we talk about trying to find that balance.
Yes.
And, you know, one of the things we're trying to do for whoever's listening to this podcast is like, you know, well, so we can learn from you is like trying to find that balance of how much do we push, how much do we guide, and then at what point do we have to let our daughters and our juniors like take the reins?
And what works best, like from a perspective of like parents wanting to encourage, but also wanting to like get your kid to be the best version of themselves out there.
Yeah. So to that end, like what was, do you remember one thing that like your parents did that like was like, okay, this is really getting me going?
My parents always asked me, do you like golf? Like, they always asked me that. And I always responded with yes, even when there was moments when I was like, probably not.
Of course.
But, which I think was really important. And I think that's very important because I did grow up with people who hated golf and their parents just took them and it was just something they did, right? And they just kept golfing. And clearly now that we're all adults, they're not golfing at all. They haven't touched a club in years anymore, right? Just because it was never their thing.
Right.
But I don't know. I remember seeing how much they kind of despise going to a golf course. And there was definitely, I'm not going to say my entire golf journey was hearts and love, right?
No.
But my parents always asked me, do you like golf? Like, they really wanted to make sure of that. So I think that's
that's
pretty
great.
important.
That's a
great
good
thing
the check-in. It's like that, because what it also does is if they're asking for real, like if they're not like, do you even like this game? Like if it's not that, if do you like golf?
That was me.
That's me to my kid. No,
Emily, do you like golf?
Do you even like what the hell, bro? Do you like it? It gives you a chance to own it and be like, yeah, I like it. I do like it and I want to be better. And then you that was a smart move and also cool by your parents to like give you that moment.
All right. Totally. So you said it's not all hearts and sunshine and rainbows. Any moments where you can look back and share with us, you feel comfortable sharing with us? We're like, okay, don't do this. Because, you know, we talk a lot about like things that we've done and like, don't do that ever again.
I would say as I got into more competitive golf, it became more like it became something that could really shift the mood in the house almost. And that was a lot of pressure playing. And I don't think it was on purpose, obviously. Like, my parents clearly saw that I had a talent and passion for golf. So they put a lot of investments into me, right? Like time, taking me to the course, all that. But then if I played in a tournament and it was like, I just made some stupid errors because I'm, 12.
Sure.
Then now I understand they were very clearly frustrated because it's like, come on, like, you know better, right? Mm-hmm. But that was a lot of pressure when you're younger, right? Because when you're younger, you don't really get that, like, oh, they don't actually mean it. So that was definitely a little hard to tackle.
We just want to see you succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I know that now.
Yeah.
My frontal lobe is developed.
Right. Developing.
Almost. 1 more year, guys.
True. But that's a good point. I love that point because the stakes go up for everyone. The more you get into like more rarefied air, and the more for real your parents start to actually maybe even see a little bit of a future of it. Like, ooh, maybe my daughter can go play in college. Maybe this becomes her profession if she really loves it. Then the stakes even go up for your parents, even though they're not playing. That's a thing that a kid, I feel like, doesn't understand, is like, we're invested in our kid's whole journey. And if you're like, ooh, this is the pathway, then you take everything seriously. I mean, right or wrong, I can just say that as a parent, that's a mistake.
I mean, we talk about it. We've talked about it with other guests that we're so invested because we care so much about. I mean, every parent wants to see their kids succeed. I'm not even your parent. And I want to see you succeed because we're friends, right? And,
totally.
But it's so amplified with your kids, and that's talking about that. That's a really good reminder that we can't. As parents, I think we've got to try really hard not to let those heightened expectations affect a 12-year-old at home.
Yeah, and I think it's less about you're not. No one's doing it intentionally, right? Because it's not helping anyone out. But I just remember sitting like in class in school one day and like learning how like little kids don't know when like you do peekaboo, like they actually think that you disappear, right? Like I just think that when you're younger, you really just can't fathom the idea of you're not actually mad at me, you're frustrated with the situation.
Totally.
So that's like something I think, that obviously put a lot of pressure on me performing in golf and diminished the sparkles of golf a little bit when I was younger, but
it's all worked
still
out.
Playing. So it's not like all negative or anything.
Totally. But I mean, I think, also like this is life. So no experience at all. I'm a professional comedian, and like, I love it. And also I've had super discouraging things along the way. And I realize, like you, I'm in a rarefied group of people who get to do this for a living. So 100%, like nothing is all great and everybody makes mistakes. And the fact that you have a relationship with your parents, and I'm sure they're so proud of where you are right now. Yeah. They couldn't have imagined like back when you were 7 that like this is the result of that. Obviously you don't have kids yet, but is golf something down the line, if you decide to have kids, that you want your kids to be involved in, you think?
I've actually really thought about this.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I always said no, definitely not. Like it's such a hard sport. I mean, everything's hard, but like I know how hard this sport is, right? But then now that I'm getting older, again, frontal lobe developing, I'm like, wait a second. Like there was a lot of mistakes. I don't want to call them mistakes. It's just like things that took a little longer for me and my family to figure out because I'm the first golfer in my family, first one to go to school for a sport, like first one to go to college in the US period anyways, right? So it's like, there's so many things that we took the long way to kind of figure out that if I did have a kid and they played golf, like they wouldn't have those hardships. So I'm like, I'm like scheming. I'm like, I have a whole plan for if anyone wants to play.
We're going to have you write that out and then we're going to post it so that we can share that.
No, I've really thought about this. Like things you got to start with. And
well, tell us right now. What do you start with? What do we start with?
Give us a little code for the child that you don't have yet.
Oh, right. This is going to come bite me in the butt.
No,
in 10 years.
This is going to help a lot of people. This is great.
I think, again, like what you guys are doing here is really important. Like the parent is so important in the player's development, right? Like the right player has to be in the situation as well. Like you can't have someone who just hates golf, hates being outdoors, hates the competition. Like that will never work. So putting them in like other sports as well, like giving them the opportunity to choose whether they really want to do this or not is, I think, step one.
Great step.
And then after that, it's like I kind of, as I got older and playing more competitive tournaments, and now looking back at my junior tournaments are not as big as they seem when you're younger. Not even in high school, not even as a college player now that I look back on it, right?
I'm looking back like a year ago, I'm like, that didn't matter.
Yeah, and the emotions were so high, and now I'm like, for what?
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like until you're 18, let's just say, until you're an adult, like anything that you do should be for the development of your game. Like who cares about if you lose a few events or you just like, have a weird swing for an event because you're working on something. Like I think that the focus should be on, just getting your fundamentals right, like keeping golf simple, like learning how to win, learning how to like, it shouldn't be so result based, right? So that's another thing.
Yeah.
That is so good. I mean,
Frame that and put that in a museum. That is freaking beautiful. I love that.
That's also where logically I've known that all along, but it's like we have to keep reminding ourselves as parents, because when we're in it, and I remember when Emmy was like 8 and in her first tournaments, I would lose my mind when she'd like not play well. And it's like, bro, she's 8.
Yes, I mean, so
and this is like a tournament that to the point is you're not even that far removed. And like, you don't even remember those tournaments.
Well,
so it's
no,
like,
I don't, not really.
So the pressure that you could take off of that, pull the air out of the bag a little bit, so to speak, to like make it easier. If you think of it like a movie, like your golf career is a movie, it's like we can't get mad at the end of one scene. Like there's a whole movie that we're doing, that we're building towards something hopefully bigger, better. Also, just like, yeah, there's ups and downs, and we're going to reach a point. That is such a great point.
Yeah, I love that. Development, important results.
Long play, the long game of development over the results of one
for sure
moment.
Until you're 13, Emmy, then it matters.
Then it matters. His daughter is just off camera, so we're yelling at her. What else? What else before we release you?
Really quick question.
Yeah.
You have are finding you're an interesting spot in both professional golf as a professional golfer and creating actually a really interesting social media presence and profile. What would you recommend to like younger golfers? How would you straddle that? I mean, if we want to share your social profile so people can actually follow you, because I think you're a great follow.
Follow me at the Christine Wang. I was in middle school and I copied the Michelle Wee's Instagram handle. So that is why it's the Christine Wang.
I would say the Ohio State, but it hurts my soul to say it. So the Christine Wang.
Yes.
Follow her on that. Yeah. I mean, what kind of content do you love to make, and what have you found has been like the most like that goes viral and that really spreads out there?
I think the things that go viral are the things I don't try on. So it's just like something funny with the team, something just, a trend that I can do that's, I think, relates to my situation right now. Things that I don't think too hard on, things that are natural. Obviously, I do really enjoy really creating content too. It started in college. So obviously like the behind the scenes of what a student athlete was, being at USC specifically, like that's, all the lore of that. And then now being on the Epson Tour, what it's like to be on the Epson Tour, what you might not know about the Epson Tour, stuff like that. And I don't know, to answer your question from earlier, like, I think that just like sports, just like golf, social media, although it seems like everyone's doing it now and it's the way to go if you want to get a sponsor or it's like noticed by a coach or stuff like that, if it's not for you, if you don't like it, I always tell them don't even try, because it takes a lot of work, and if you really don't like it, don't even try. But for me, I really like social media. I have always created content, even when I was in middle school. Not that it's public, because you won't find it, but I've posted stuff on YouTube. Like I've done stuff on like Musically. Like I've always liked that type of stuff. Yeah. I used to have a private Snapchat like story. I don't know do y'all know what that is?
Oh yeah. We know. I'm not,
And I would like have like updates where I felt like, hey vlog, this is what I'm doing today. Like this is something I've always done. So now that I didn't have the courage to post it publicly, but until college, until NIL became a thing, right? And then so when that became a thing, I started doing it publicly, and I'm so glad that people find my life interesting.
Well, you are an interesting person, but I'm going to add on to that. You are tapping into something that as a comedian, we also have noticed that people love. I say we, my twin brother and I. It is that you are in an interesting world. You are in a rare world, which is professional golf. And I think people who love golf want the access. They want to know what's going on where they don't get to see it on TV and at tournaments. And so when you provide that, like, this is me walking into the locker room. This is the bag they give us. Let's go through what we got before we get, like, those things are like fascinating. I could watch that as a fan for hours, and I think people love it. And if you can add a good personality on top of it, Like, boom.
And thank you for coming and joining us, giving us that access.
Yes.
And certainly I would recommend everyone to follow the Christine Wang.
The Christine Wang.
You really are a fun follow. It's you see the tournament side, the challenges, the travel.
The personal.
And thanks for sharing some wisdom about junior golf with us.
And when we come back, we will fire some rapid fire in a segment with Emeline LeBasse. She's going to ask you the hard questions. We threw softballs out there. She's going to ask you the hard questions.
Oh, gotta get on my defense.
When we're back.
Get it, pull it together. Tiger Dads will be right back.
All right, welcome back to Tiger Dads. We have Shotgun Start with, you've heard me talk about her. This is my daughter, Emeline LeBasse, she's the reason I'm here in therapy. But we're bringing her in to ask some questions. A little Shotgun Start with Emmy and Christine.
Hi. I'm so excited to be on. Like, I keep listening to all the episodes, and it always sounds like so fun. So, I have some questions for you, Christine.
I'm kind of nervous. I never know what you're gonna throw at me.
Okay. I have 5 questions.
Okay.
We're gonna start.
Wait. So you're gonna ask me like first thing that comes to mind, or
You can tell like a story too, right?
Okay.
Okay. Number 1. What was your first set of golf clubs?
Oh, the pink Lynx set. You know what I'm talking about? The little with the little puma or panther or something like that on it. They're
I don't, but I can like imagine it because I know there's all those like little ones with the
pink
shaft
grip.
and the grip.
Yeah,
and
pink grip, pink like paint details.
Yeah.
Tiny little bag, got 4 clubs in it. I
think-
still have my original set, thanks to my
I
parents.
think I actually had one of those because it comes in like this tiny bag, right?
it's
And
so
the
cute.
putter,
Mhm.
there's like a putter, a driver,
Mhm.
and then like a pitching wedge.
Like 1 iron.
Yeah.
And like I think I had like the premium version where there was like a
I had
wood or
that one.
hybrid.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Number 2.
Uh-huh.
How old were you? Oh, well, I was gonna say how old were you when you played your first tournament, but you already told us that. So,
8.
if you could give advice to your 10-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Ooh. I would about golf or about just anything?
Golf.
Okay. About golf, I would say do your speed training. You know?
Wait, I do the one where it's right hand with like 3 different weights, and then you do it with left hand too. And it actually it really helped me for a while, but then I kind of stopped doing it, so I'm not as good with my
What's up with that?
speed
Like
training.
if it worked, like I mean
I don't know. I just kind of stopped doing it, but
no, it's okay.
I'll
I
get back
wasn't
on it for you.
that's what I'm trying to tell myself, my 10-year-old self. If time travel is real, stick with your speed system. I use a Mach 3 now.
okay. And then I'm kind of hoping that there's like a funny story coming with this one, but
Okay.
most embarrassing moment on the course.
I actually just told this story the other day to one of my friends, but okay. So in college, we have qualifying, right? So that's when you decide who plays at the next tournament. And I don't know what was going on. We were playing at Rolling Hills Country Club. I think we were on hole 11, 12, and there's like a little river that runs right in front of hole 12. And I had just barely hit it off the green, a fringe shot. So I was a little huffy and puffy. I was like, oh my gosh, I only had like 120 and I didn't even like get it close or whatever. And I'm like pulling my little push cart, right? And I park the cart and I go over and I'm just like so laser focused on the fact that my ball is not on the green, right?
Mhm.
That I didn't even hear my teammate be like, Christine. And I was like, what? When I finally reacted, I looked back and the scene that I saw was my push cart rolling backwards, gathering speed, rolling into what ended up being like the water, right? And it was like, I was like, oh my gosh. And not only did it like just roll in there, because if it just rolled in there, the river's not that deep, right? But it rolled in there, but then somehow the straps that hold your clubs in came apart. So then my bag fell off the cart too, and it was like flat. And it's like mud all over my bag and like, it was just, and then now I'm not even thinking about my shot that I hit so poorly, right? I'm over there like, oh my gosh, my gloves. Like,
That's happened to me so many times, but it hasn't gone in the water yet, thankfully. Hopefully it doesn't, but
Knock
I've
on some
had it where
wood.
it's like on a slope and I put my push cart and then the wind picked up and it just started rolling down, like right when I was about to hit. And I was like, okay, stop, like push it sideways, back off, start your routine again. And then my head cover like started rolling down too. And then I had to like start all over again like 3 times because all my stuff was just like going
just, like,
straight down this hill.
Like Mother Nature was just like, your bag needs to go in the water for some reason.
Okay. And then I'm actually going to change up this question.
Okay.
Like, who would be your dream foursome? Can I
Dream
do that?
foursome.
Emmy, do you ask questions you want to ask?
All right, dream foursome. In this current moment, because it changes like every other day, it would be, I really would love to play with Steph Curry. Because he's like baller. And I was going to say Steph, Caitlin Clark. I know, 2 basketball people. I do love basketball. And then my third person,
Charles Barkley.
that would be hilarious.
That would be so fun.
And afterwards, we can go on to like little like a
Wait, yeah, and then you could like challenge them to like a basketball round. So then you have Steph, Caitlin, and Charles.
Exactly. I need Charles on my team though.
So
Yeah.
Steph, Caitlin, Chuck, if you're listening to this, we'll have to kick one of you out because we got to force them with these 2. We'll make it happen.
Can I say my dream foursome?
Please.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I would probably definitely do Tiger Woods because he's just
The
the
goat.
goat. I would definitely do Steph because I'm a huge Warriors fan. I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
we'll come back next time.
If anyone's not available, I heard that
Catherine
Alcaraz.
Newton.
Catherine Newton.
Oh,
Who's
Catherine
that?
Newton, yeah. Actress
Oh.
and golfer.
Yeah, well, clearly. I was going to say Alcaraz. I heard he's a pretty avid
yeah.
golfer.
But
I do love tennis too. I'm a big sports girl, clearly.
It was so funny because I saw on Instagram and I saw on her Instagram that it was like the Netflix jokes golf thing. And then I saw Jason in the background. We paused the video and we were like, oh my God, look, there's Catherine Newton. And then there's Jason in the background just like cheering on, eating drinks and like stuff.
Well, thank you, Emmy. Thanks for coming on and asking some of those insightful questions. Christine, thank you again. We'll be right back with more Tiger Dads and Caddy Corner.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I love that segment. I love your daughter firing questions. She asks the tough questions that we are afraid to ask.
Yes,
she gets
absolutely.
in there. All right, let's close this show out and talk about, since we're talking about beginnings in golf, in Caddy Corner, which I hate when people call it Kitty Corner. I really get mad at that. It is Caddy Corner. Let's talk about the first tournament for our child and how we mishandled that.
Our first tournament was so fun, and it's like so many like great things came out of it. But I remember how stressed I was. So
Sure.
Emmy was 8. I don't know. She'd been playing golf for a couple of years, and I had this picture in my head that all these kids are like, because you watch a show like The Short Game,
And those are the best kids
and those
in the
are the
world.
best in the world, right?
Right.
So you watch that, and you're like, oh man, like you assume that that's the norm. So we show up to this tournament.
Where was it? Do you remember which course?
I want to say it was Arcadia.
Okay.
It's Arcadia. Emmy's giving me the thumbs up.
Okay.
And
Tricky little par threes.
we really only started tournaments because I wanted Emmy to meet other girls, and we didn't know any. We had started some of these programs, but kids were kind of far away.
Yep.
And so we show up to this tournament, and there are only 2 girls in it. It's Emmy and now a really good friend of mine and one of Emmy's best golf friends. So they're 8 years old. And they're both real quiet. I think they were probably both nervous. I think it was only like her second tournament. And so just the 2 of them.
2-person whole tournament?
2-person whole tournament.
In the 8 to 11 division?
There were only 2 of them.
How is that
And
possible?
so they played and they sort of like struggled their way through. And I remember I was so stressed, and they tied. They
That's
tied
so
for
great.
first, which like could not have been better.
It's like in the Olympics when those 2 guys were high jumping and they couldn't stop. Like they kept going higher and they finally were just like, we'll share it.
We'll share the first place. And so there,
That's awesome.
our local JDT, SCPGA JDT tournament,
Yeah.
there's no playoffs. It's just like they usually do a card off. So Emmy technically got the second place medal, but because the way that the scores on the card go, but they they tied,
So
and it was
good.
great. And Emmy met one of her really close friends.
Who's she still friends with?
Still really good friends with.
Love
We've gone
it.
on golf trips with them.
Amazing.
A year later, dad and a daughter and Emmy and I, we went to Pinehurst for World Championships together.
That's so
rented
cool.
a house together. So I would say jump into tournaments as early as you can, as long as you don't have any pressure. Because we were lucky that met some of the like our best friends to this day.
I love it.
But I was so stressed.
You were probably more stressed than she was. My first tournament, or my daughter's first tournament, I call it mine. That's already mistake number one. Our first tournament was at David L. Baker, who I was like, was he like in the Reagan administration? Like, who is David Baker? I don't know. Was he one of those like mega church people? That was like
we haven't looked it up. We'll have to Google it.
David L. Baker. Who was Baker? Like Tammy Faye Baker? I don't know. I was like, we go to this course. It's my daughter. Not only does she not know what to do, I have no idea what to do. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what time to get there. I don't know. Like, I don't have the caddy pass on my shirt. Like, everything is wrong. They have to give me my card and all this stuff. We show up. She hits on the range a little bit, and it's not going great. And she's like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I was like, okay, that's fine. We don't necessarily have to, but we did drive all the way down here. Why don't we just hop on? So she gets in, and of all the courses, this course has water on it. On hole, like the water is kind of in and around like the last 4 holes of 9 holes. And I don't know what it was. She just kept finding the water.
Magnet.
Like, in the water. We weren't even on that hole. It got out left and bounced down in the water. On the next hole, she's in the water and in and out of the water. Last hole, she, and the max on a hole is double par plus 1. So those in the know that like, last hole was a par 4. There were some par 4s on this one. So she goes across the water onto the other fairway with her first shot on the 9th hole, then goes into the water. Then there was someone from the tournament watching us. So they pulled us out into this very bad lie that I wouldn't have given her down. And she goes in the water again. Then she goes into the water again. And the guy's like, just pick it up. You're done. And she was crying and upset.
Oh,
and
so tough.
I'm like, I can't believe this is how we're ending this. And she's like, I want to leave. And I'm like, well, you have to take your card up and you got to sit with these girls and you got to register your score. I think she got a 59 or something. And she was like crying on the way home and said, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is how it ended. This is not how you play, but I understand. And it got really quiet in our car for like about 20 minutes. And she was like, I want to play it again. I want to do it again. That was really hard. I was like, yes, that was super hard, and I understand. And we don't have to come back here again. Like, we can go
never
elsewhere.
come back to David L. Baker.
We said we'll never come back. Well, so then cut to several years later, or 2 years later. She was 9. So when she was 11 and she had gotten a lot better, I signed her up for David L. Baker without telling her. And I was like, we got a tournament this weekend. And she's like, where is it? I'm like, David L. Baker. She's like, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. And I'm like, I understand. I understand why you wouldn't want to do it, but let's go do it. And she's like, I will do any other place, but I will not do there. And so then I was like, well, now what do I do? And I don't know if I've told this on this episode, but I said, my wife and I made up a rule, which is not a rule. We're like, well, you have to in person. If it's this late, you have to drive down there and tell them you're not going to be in the tournament.
Oh, this is a great story.
I'm like, you have to go down there. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, those are the rules. 100% not the rules. But I'm like, we got to drive down. So, and it's an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 15 minutes from our house. We get in the car, we start driving down. She's like, I'm not playing. I'm like, I know. But
is she suited?
She's suited up.
You got her dressed.
I got her dressed. The golf shoes are in the car. The bag is in the car, but she's wearing what she could wear to play.
You're like, you got to wear golf clothes to the golf course.
You have to wear golf clothes to tell them you're not playing.
Okay, yeah.
Can't show up in non-golf clothes and tell them you're not playing. So we're driving down, and I was like, I'm going to call her golf coach, MJ, and I'm just going to let her tell him that she's not going to play in this tournament that we've been prepping for. And she calls him, and she's like, and I'm like, well, you got to tell MJ what's going on. And thankfully he answered. And she's like, I don't feel comfortable playing this tournament. He's like, why? And he was able to say all the things I kind of said. He's like, you've gotten a lot better. Because what I was trying to say was, you're back at the place you can see how much better you've gotten. You've improved so much over these years. Let's go and you'll see what a better player you are. You shot a 59 last time or whatever, you're 56. Let's go back and shoot in the 30s and we'll see how much better we are, whatever. Even if you're in the 40s, who cares? You just see that you've gotten better. No, I don't want to do it. He said, I think you need to do this. I think you should go down. And she was like, I don't want to do it. And I was like, okay, we're not going to force her to do it on the phone, but thank you for saying that. I agree with MJ. Hang up the phone. It's quiet for like 20 minutes in the car. We're not even listening to music, which is a nightmare. It's in the car. And then I hear from the back seat, we're not going to make it in time to tee off. And I was like, yes, we are. And I slammed down my foot. I'm going like 95 through carpool lanes, everything, taking every risk with our lives, which is also stupid. I get us down there. We have like 30 minutes to prep. We get on the range. She hits some balls. She's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm like, I'm so proud of you for doing this. She gets on the tee, kind of miffs the first hole. Second hole, the jitters are gone. She shoots a 39, which for her is great on that course. There's par fours in there mixed in. I think she came in like 4th or 5th in the tournament. That didn't matter. Point is, like, she taught herself what we knew was possible, which was sometimes the dragon gets you. You got to go back and say the dragon when you're better.
So the moral of the story is lie to your children.
Lie to their faces. You have to lie to their faces all the time. That's 70%. We say this in our stand-up act. 70% of parenting a small child is lying to their faces. The other 30% is letting them know how much more time they have in any given activity.
We're lying for their own good.
We're lying for their own good. It came with a net positive. So that's Caddy Corner. I'm Jason Sklar. He's Bo Bass. This is Tiger Dads. Like and subscribe. Tell your golf dad, mom, friends, and let's spread the word on this thing. I love it. We'll see you next one.
See you next week.
Straight down the middle. It went straight down the middle.